guys. So we just did Mage. We're halfway through the list. Druid, Hunter, Mage. Just got 6 more classes, right? So let's go to Paladin. Paladin's one that I really haven't taken a look at. So what you're looking at, I'm pretty much looking at for the first time, except for Uther. So Uther is a 9-mana Death Knight. Battlecry, equip a 5/3 lifesteal weapon. And its hero power is you summon a 2/2 horseman, right? One of the 4 horsemen. And what happens is, if you have a horseman, you summon the next horseman, right? Like, so let's say you summon a horseman, it doesn't die. Next turn you summon the next horseman. Next turn you summon the next horseman, right? Until you have 4 of unique horsemen. When you have 4 horsemen, you win the game straight up. That seems pretty crazy. A 2/2 instead of a 1/1 is a direct upgrade on the hero power. That also seems pretty crazy. I think the card is strong. I think that's incredibly strong. Lifesteal on a weapon, lifesteal on an Ashbringer. That's pretty crazy. I'm feeling pretty good about this card. I think it's pretty strong. I'm going to give Uther of the Ebon Blade a 5 out of 5. That's pretty wild, man. Pretty good card. Next we got Blackguard. Whenever your hero is healed, deal that much damage to a random enemy minion. 6/4/3/9. I think it's just a little too cute. I mean, obviously, like, there is synergy, right? I mean, you have True Silver Champion, you have Ragnaros the Light Lord, you have Forbidden Healing. There are cute interactions there. And honestly, depending on the board, like, there might not even be a bunch of creatures. I think, but you have to think about the curve. What does this replace, right? Where does this fit, right? I don't know. Does it fit in Murloc Paladin? No. Does it fit in Control Paladin? Maybe. Does it fit in a new Paladin archetype that we haven't talked about? Maybe. I think it's pretty good. We'll give it a 3 out of 5, because I'm just not sold on it yet. Bolvar the Fireblood, 5 for a 1/7 Divine Shield. After a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, gain +2 attack. A lot of people are saying this card is crazy. A lot of people. They're really impressed by this card. Because, sometimes at worst it's going to be a 3/7. But I am not. I think this is way overhyped. Okay, way overhyped. And I know it'll see play. But I think it's just... Divine Shield is just a poor mechanic to build around, in my opinion. Because of it, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. I know a lot of people won't agree with me on that. But I think it's just... Yeah, it's a confusing card. Like, that's just not as strong as something like Terra. Light Sorrow, 4 for a 1/4. After friendly minion loses Divine Shield, gain +1 attack. This card sucks. The card's bad. It's 1 out of 5. Could somebody do something with it? Maybe, but like, it reminds me of Blood Knight. Like, even if you push Divine Shield synergy, I just don't think that would be enough. So for me, it's a 1 out of 5. Arrogant Crusader, 4 for a 5/2 Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, summon a 2/2 ghoul. It's not bad. It's a very aggressive card, and shock it in, right? Like, very aggressive. Paladin decks could exist, but I don't find the card very strong. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Chillbait Champion, 4 for a 3/2 charge lifesteal. It seems weak to me. True Silver Champion just seems like a better card. Unless you buff this guy, right? I mean, you could buff it with Kings or something. I don't know. I guess that's something. Maybe there's some kind of combo deck. I don't know. To me, this seems weak. 1 out of 5 stars for Chillblade Champion. Howling Commander, 3 for a 2/2 Battlecry. Draw a Divine Shield minion from your deck. It's a 5 out of 5. Okay? It's a 5 out of 5. If Arcanologist is a 5 out of 5, this card's a 5 out of 5. Well, maybe it's a 4 out of 5. Okay, yeah, fuck it. We'll step back. It's a 4 out of 5. Howling Commander is a 4 out of 5. Now, easiest thing to compare it to is obviously Archaeologist, but it's not as good as Archaeologist, nowhere near as good as Archaeologist, okay? Because number one, it costs 1 more mana. Number two, it has 1 less health. But for all intents and purposes, Archaeologist is OP. It's too good of a card. This is a more fair card, I would say, and it's going to be pretty good. Tutoring for a thing in your deck and taking it out is better than discovering another copy, to me. Okay, in my opinion. In my opinion, you should always try to thin your deck as much as you can, so you play more of your relevant answers. And I mean, sure, generating card value is also good, but I think tutoring is always better in most situations. 4 out of 5. I think Howling Commander is a pretty good card, you know, especially if you're only running Tyrion, and even if you're running Righteous Protector, which we'll talk about in a bit. Dark Conviction, set a minion's attack and health to 3/3. I actually think it's a pretty good card. It's underrated. I will actually also give that a 4 out of 5. All right, so we got Dark Conviction, Howling Commander. Both of those are 4 out of 5s to me. Desperate Stand. This is basically getaway resurrection for 2 mana, but I find that effect to be kind of weak. And basically, you control the resurrection, right? Which is kind of cool, but usually I don't like to commit death rattle effects onto cards on spells because you just get 2 for 1. Silence, right? So and I know Silence maybe it's not as popular right now, but trust me, like Spellbreakers played, fucking Silence Priest plays Silencers, it'll get played. I don't like this card that much. I would give it a 1 out of 5. And lastly, Righteous Protector, 1 for a 1/1 taunt with Divine Shield. So obviously you compare it to Argent Squire. Argent Squire is obviously one of the better 1-drops in the game, 1/1 with Divine Shield, and this is better because it has taunt. And now you can play double Squire, double Protector, and there, if you wanted to build around this Divine Shield thing, you know, now you got a bunch of cheap resources for it. This card is good. This is just pure example of what happens when the power creep gets too strong, or gets strong, and that's what happens. So here's a 1/1. There was nothing else to do. This is just add another effect on it. This is a 5 out of 5. Righteous Protector is too good. Okay, and I don't think it is being overrated or overhyped. It is that good. Okay, taunt is a fucking real mechanic, and in an early game situation, even though this is 1 attack, 1 health, this does a lot of things. Against Pirate Warrior, you force your opponent to throw one of his pirates and a weapon into it. So it's already like, I mean, this is crazy, dude. This is crazy. If you coin out 2 of these, it's even crazier. If you play one of these and it sits on the board, and you play Dark Conviction on it, that's even crazier. So I do think this card is really good. 5 out of 5. Like I said, Bolvar I didn't think was too good, and I didn't think a lot of these mid-level cards were that great. But Uther I think is extremely powerful. Howling Commander I think is really good. Dark Conviction I think is really good. And Righteous Protector is just broken. It's just really, really good. So that's my thoughts on Paladin. I'm interested to see what kind of weenie decks, you know, like really quick aggressive decks or zoo type of decks are built with the class. What do you think? What do you think about the cards in the class? Let me know.